Do you have any personal New Year's resolutions? Well, today we're talking about New Year's resolutions that you can make specifically for your radio station website.
This is Better Radio Websites, the podcast for radio professionals who want to see their website generate more traffic and revenue. Each week, your host, Jim Sherwood, and his special guests give you time-tested tips and secret tricks to ensure your radio station dominates digital in your market. Here we go.
Hi, it's Jim, and welcome to Better Radio Websites, the podcast that wants to help you get more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. Thanks a lot for joining us, and Happy New Year to you. You know, every year at this time, it's customary to look back on the previous year and examine things that you could do a little bit better, and this should include your radio station website. Today, we're going to lay out 8 different website resolutions that we think are worth considering for the new year. Number 1, devote more resources to your radio station website. This could be as small as just thinking about it, keeping it at the top of your mind more in the new year. The importance of your radio station website across all departments should be of equal importance as the programming of your radio station. When you think about it this way, you're going to think about the website a whole lot more and how it plays into your overall strategy. There are still small market radio stations out there that think just having a website shows that they're modern and relevant. Unfortunately, they're wrong because the only thing that's on their website is a listen live button. And there's no real reason to come back day after day after day. I mean, that listen live can be found on TuneIn or somewhere else. There's no real reason to come back to that URL day after day. That's why you need great information. The website should entertain and generate its own revenue. It should be just like your radio station. When you think about it that way, then your mindset kind of goes back to thinking about it differently. And hey, I can make money with this thing. But that's never going to happen if it's not consistently being maintained and adding new content to it on a consistent basis. Our radio station clients that excel above all others and have the most visitors, they have at least one person whose primary or secondary or even third job function is to keep the website updated day after day with relevant content. We're talking news, events, sports scores, obituaries, that type of thing. A few stations out there have 2 or 3 people tasked with adding at least one thing daily. It's never their primary job, but it's something that they could do in addition to their daily tasks or whatever. For example, the morning news person, they can take the copy that they write for the morning news and simply paste it into the website. And there are your news content right there. Fresh content equals fresh traffic. That equals more visitors. And just like ratings for a radio station, that means more revenue. And when you have that mindset there, then you're going to start generating more of that. Now, when your station website is being updated with consistently fresh content, your sales team should be aware of this also, and they should know the importance of selling that content. Each seller should be ready to offer the station website in addition to or separately from every on-air buy. And if you have a client out there who just simply does not have the means to advertise on the radio, well, they may spend $20 a month for a banner ad on their website somewhere. I mean, so you can get something from every client, or you should be able to, but you're never going to have that if your website is a simple listen live button. Okay, number 2 is add new or different kinds of content than you have now. Remember the old adage, if you're not moving forward, then you're moving backwards? While it's great to have a familiar website that your audience knows and what they can expect day after day, it's also good to expand your offerings every so often and kind of surprise them a little bit. And they're like, oh, that's something new. Let's check that out. Take a look at your market and find areas that are not being addressed online. This could be high school sports news, garage sales, restaurant reviews, local rodeos, dirt track racing schedules. There's some fringe things out there that people cannot find easily online without doing a Google search. But if you have that on your radio station website and you're promoting it well, that's going to mean more traffic that comes in. I mean, adding video to your website is a great example of new content. Also, if you haven't done this, rather than a written blog, have your morning show or news person upload a daily what's happening in our town video. they can do that right in front of the microphone and post that directly to the website. It doesn't have to be professionally made in order to be shared online. Now, of course, with any new content that you put on your website, be sure that you have in mind sponsorship opportunities that could go along with that. Are they going to mention something in the video? Or are we going to put something after the video or online on the page along with the video? So have those in mind as well as you create this new content, whatever it is. All right, number 3 is try a different color or layout. Change is evolution. And as with content, the same thing year after year can become a little mundane and complacent. So try adding little subtle design changes to your website. Often, this can be better than doing a complete website makeover every 4 to 5 years. I mean, this could be as small as a font change, or maybe you lay out how the posts appear on the home page a little bit differently rather than all of your posts being in one large list there. Maybe break it up and do them by category, like local news, state news, sports news, that sort of thing. And so you're breaking it up. All the same content is there as same before, but it's broken up a little bit differently. Now, if you do these kind of gradual changes over time, that can be better than, like I said, the massive site makeover every 4 to 5 years, because then your listeners, they don't have to relearn where everything is on your website. It's there, it's familiar, it's just tweaked a little bit. All right, number 4 is examine your website stats and adjust your content accordingly. If you have a personal resolution to lose weight in the new year, like me, then you'll likely look at the scale over time to determine your progress along the way, right? And you also might want to adjust your eating habits or exercise habits if you're not happy with the results each time. So, apply that logic to your website. Take a look at your website analytics from last year and use that as a base for improving moving forward. Or you can use the analytics from last month and say, okay, we need to do better than this. See what kinds of content worked the best and got the most shares, got the most visits. Try beating your monthly numbers from last month or last year at this time, and by adding more of what content worked during that time, or what kinds of content works best overall, and add more of that kind of content to try to increase those numbers month after month. Now, if you're finding that you're too, quote unquote, too busy to check your website stats, well, then you're missing out on some valuable information to move your website forward. This would be like your radio station being in a rated market and then never looking at the ratings. Google Analytics was created to provide you with valuable information that can help you as the website owner and the content creator make decisions to help your website perform better month after month. And it's a free tool. You don't have to pay for Google Analytics. That information is there for free. All right, number 5 is try to do things to be more social. Whether you like it or not, social media is a huge part of our daily routine. Without thinking, we're checking our Facebook or posting pictures on Instagram, sending messages on Snapchat, tweeting, retweeting, all without hesitation. It's just become a part of our lives. Certainly it has for your listeners. Well, we advocate that all station members actively participate in the station's social media channels. Link back to the website as much as possible and engage listeners when appropriate. One of the morning show teams here in Jackson, Mississippi, they post videos to Facebook literally every morning. And it shows up on my Facebook feed that so-and-so, they're live. And they do it when they're not on the air. They do it out at remotes. All different times of the day, they're posting these videos. And they're just doing crazy things, stuff that they would do off the mic in the studio. And it's really engaging. They're engaging with the listeners when they're not on the radio. And that makes me want to listen to them on the radio even more, because they're building that relationship using social media. I don't know who the midday person is. I don't know who the afternoon person is right now, but I am familiar with, and I'm basically have a relationship with the morning show team because of this daily interaction that I get notifications on my phone that they're broadcasting live right now. So that's something to consider, is be more social whenever you can, and use those opportunities to pull listeners to the website for some reason, because your advertisers live on your radio station website. So if you can't pull them to be listening to the radio right now, and to something that maybe has a sponsorship attached to it, be sure that you're directing them to the website so you can build those numbers up to sell more banner ad clients. Research and invest in a plugin or service that allows you to auto post things to your social media channels on a consistent basis so that whenever you have a new piece of content on your website, your social media channels get updated with links back to the website so they have a chance to see that content. Now, the way Facebook works is that every time you post something, only a very minute percentage of your followers see that. So if you have 20,000 followers on Facebook, whenever you post a news post, do you know how many of those 20,000 people will see that? Less than 50 every single time. So if you only post to Facebook once a day, then out of that 20,000, you're only going to get a very small percentage of people who are actually going to see that. Facebook requires that you actually pay them to promote posts beyond that certain low number of followers. It's crazy. So you have to post very, very often. Have a social media strategy. Make that a part of that social media strategy. Many stations will spend lots of time and money on social media without determining what the goals are. And they don't even know that out of that 20,000 followers, only 50 people will actually see what you're posting. Make that a part of your strategy. Likes and comments, they're great, but be sure that you can convert the people who are actually seeing that content, drive them back to the website. Tease on Facebook, drive them to the website. Number 6 in our list of New Year's resolutions for your website is build a local photo library. Even though there are ample warnings out there, we tell folks all the time, never, ever, ever download something from a search and post it on the website. Do not take images off the internet unless they are proven to be royalty free. Regardless of the warnings, there are still radio stations out there being sued for copyright infringement on images. As technologies for catching these illegal image postings advances, this is only going to get worse. So it's very, very important that anybody that has access to the website have proper copyrights in place when posting any kind of images online. It doesn't matter what kind of image it is, even if it's a small little graphics or if it's a photo of something or someone. Never grab anything off of a search engine result for an image. We suggest that every radio station capture important images around your town and state. Since you own the images that you take, there can never be any issue of a copyright claim, because they're your photos. You took them with your camera. The kinds of photos you should have in your database should be like that of a local police car, police lights, fire station, fire truck, state flag, courthouse, intersections, street names, parks, churches, that sort of thing. Inventory all of these so they can be found and posted easily when news stories break. Do not wait until you need them to try to rush out and grab a photo of something. Have them in your media library online. And when you do have them online, don't upload the same image again and again and again. Once they're in your media library, you can use them moving forward for as long as you have your website up. All right, so build that local photo library. We suggest that to everybody. All right, number 7 is write a blog that targets advertisers. We've had several clients reach out to us here at Skyrocket Radio simply because they found our blog post online. It's free information that we've been doing for years, and this is the kinds of information that Google absolutely loves. So when folks do a search for radio station websites, you should see Skyrocket Radio pop up in the first page or two because of these blogs that we've posted. And we want radio stations that look for our services to feel comfortable in our knowledge. Now, when you offer free insight to your clients, no matter where they choose to buy, you instill a trust in them. You know, they've given me all of this information. I didn't have to do anything for it. I mean, they really care about my business and wanting to see it improve. So now you've become the expert that they need when they've done a search for advertising possibilities in your area. And what you want to do is put this blog either on a new website or a section of your existing website that is specifically created for advertisers to learn more about possibilities of advertising with your radio station. As search engines crawl your website, this great information will show up for them who are looking for advertising opportunities. This is going to be great for you, and I really hope that you follow through with this one. And number 8, finally, take inventory of all of your online assets. And I mean everything: domains, websites, email accounts, your social media channels, everything with a URL and or a login. Be sure that you have all of that information in one place where you can get to it when you need it. It's not unusual for these types of accounts to become disorganized over time. This recently came up with a new radio station client of ours who had an employee create an account for the company for their hosting. Well, the account wasn't needed for a long time because it was just on auto pay and it was just going along. Well, the employee who set that up for them left the company 5 years ago. So nobody knew how to access it and make changes to it because they didn't have to do that in the last 5 years. It was a bunch of rigmarole for them to actually get ownership of that account, because it was created by the employee who is gone. So put together a list of everything, including usernames, passwords, URLs, so that you know what's out there and how to get to it. It's also a good idea to put together a company policy regarding the account creation of things so that everyone will know how to best handle it. For example, never let an employee create a station account for something using their own email address. So that's our 8 New Year's resolutions for your radio station website. Be open to actively searching for everything possible that your station can do online to grow your online audience. Discover things that can separate your radio station from the competition that you have out there. Maybe there's something in your market that's just not being done online. You have the opportunity to do that and make a bigger difference in your community and generate more income from those sponsorship opportunities. All right. So unlike your radio station signal with only 24 hours of possible content per day, well, your website can have unlimited content and sponsorship potential that can last for, many years. So we hope that you have a wonderful and prosperous new year online. And if you're looking for a new website experience for your radio station, reach out to us at skyrocketradio.com. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Better Radio Websites. Inspired by today's episode? Be sure you are subscribed and share this episode with a friend. Visit skyrocketradio.com/podcasts for more episodes as well as show notes for this episode. Need help starting or making your station website better? Visit skyrocketradio.com.